All right, here we go.
Doctor Strange and the madness in the multiverse. Now, I was so excited to see this movie. I was so hyped for it. When I saw the trailer after No Way Home, I was like, I cannot wait for this movie. But this will be a spoiler review, cause there's no way in hell I can talk about this movie without spoilers. So just so you know, this is a spoiler-filled review, and I must say this movie was so great in so many ways. I love the different tone of the movie. Like Marvel said, they wanted to make with Sam Raimi their first horror Marvel movie, which we do get elements of horror in this, and which I love. And Sam Raimi did a great job directing this movie. The directing in this movie was so fresh and different. It just really was refreshing to see. This movie was so refreshing, and I love everybody was so great in it. Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch, Sion Gomez, I hope I say the name right, as American Chavez, Benedict Wong as Wong, and it's just the whole movie, the whole multiverse, basically how they represented it. It's so colorful, so imaginative, this movie, and it's just with so many surprises with the cameos and everything. Now, but the story is still, Doctor Strange has this recurring dream where he's with, American Chavez, running from different monsters. They're trying to surf, they're trying to get this book, and then he keeps waking up and he's trying to figure out what's, the meaning of this dream. And then we basically see that wasn't a dream, that it was just America's father's in another universe with a Defender Strange. And basically she opened a portal in the last minute and came to Earth 616, which is our Earth in the Marvel world. So I was excited to see when Doctor Strange and Wong first encounter her, kind of have these questions like, what is the deal with her? How did she get her? Why is this big eye tentacle monster chasing her basically over New York? It was a cool action sequences and a very brutal death, what I just loved in this scene where he just stabs through the eye and you see the whole eye poke out, and so I was like, yes, that was so refreshing to see some gore, a little bit of violence in Marvel movies, which we basically don't always get as much. But I love the whole interaction with them when they find out that her powers is basically she's strong, but she cannot control her powers. She doesn't know how to use her powers basically. It's only when she's scared she opens portals. She has the ability to open portals and jump to another multiverses, to another verse over and over again. And that's how she ended up with Doctor Strange and trying to figure out, okay, now who wants her, who's chasing basically after her. And I love Doctor Strange's arc in the movie, where you see him at Rachel's wedding and him basically talking about explaining why, he wished they would have been together, but, in the end they couldn't be together, and her asking him, are you actually happy? Because, and actually, Doctor Strange, like he says, yes, you have the power of basically being a god, but are you actually happy? And I love his arc that he has to find a way to cope with the fact that he will never be with Christine. Yes, with Christine's wedding, not Rachel's wedding. That he actually that he can never be with Christine. The one thing that he desperately wants, the one thing that will make him forever happy, and for him to kind of find a way to be happy without that in life was actually a very nice story arc for Doctor Strange in this movie. I really liked it. Now, when we do find out that Elizabeth Olsen is, as Scarlet Witch, as Wanda, that she's the one after American Chavez because she dreams of her kids every day and, and seeing her kids, but then she wakes up and they're not there and she cannot live with that reality that I cannot be without my kids, basically, and her want to jump to another multiverse and inhabit the body's person to basically live and be with her family, with her kids. But in doing that, she kind of jeopardized the multiverse in a way, because you are one being from one multiverse jumping to another one, all the problems, that chaos. And Doctor Strange is the one who's trying to explain it to Wanda, because chaos would happen if she would jump to another multiverse with all that. I must say, I loved Wanda so much in this movie. Elizabeth Olsen was so amazing. Her character was so awesome as this ruthless villain. She is a villain of the movie, but just this, the way they go about is this villain's I do not let anything stand in my way until I get what I want. And I love that type of villain. I love that type of villain that no matter what, I will do whatever it takes to get what I want. And they really utilize this super great. Like, I love what this interaction where you see her in the field talking with Doctor Strange, and then you just think, oh, it's just simple and normal. And then you see this, I love that switch so much, where you see the whole land wasted, basically in this beautiful red, and her basically warning Strange, like, give her to me, and everything will be fine. This is me being reasonable. I was just like, ooh, just like the way they build her up, her motivations, her actions, her, doesn't stop no matter who is in front of her. It was so great and so amazingly done. That was really such a great aspect of the movie. They really utilized and used the characters in a great way. And I like the way they didn't make her like a full blown villain like Thanos, for example, but like they made her villainy. Like, you understand her point of view, you understand Doctor Strange's point of view, and basically those two ideologies, clashing together, and see who basically comes up on top. And like I said, American Chavez is basically traveling with Doctor Strange to different multiverses to kind of find out, okay, how can we stop her, basically? How can we stop Wanda? How get the multiverse back into regular, so everybody stays in their own universe. I would say the attack on the sanctuary was just epic, with Wanda just like blasting everything and using her magic. I really love, like, we get to see a full Wanda finally using like her powers to her fullest. And I do love when we jump into the multiverse where we get the Illuminati, what was really fun, like in the comics, and we get those Ultron robots. And I did know that Patrick Stewart was in the movie because he was at the premiere, so that was kind of like a dead giveaway. And we also saw him in a clip, and like his voice is so recognizable, especially to most Marvel fans. It's just like, it is him. But just like the way that we got to see, I knew that Patrick Stewart was in the movie because he was at the premiere of Doctor Strange, so it was kind of that giveaway. And also in this teaser, his voice is so recognizable, everybody knew right away, we should tell him the truth, that was Patrick Stewart. I would say now we are about to enter, that whole sequence with the whole him landing at the Illuminati, and then we finally also when he meets up with Baron, who was just like, I was excited to see him back, even though it was from a different universe. And we do get to see the members of the Illuminati, which was exciting to see. Also the one superhero, I forget his name, with the fork on his head, like Doctor Strange says, who is such an awesome power. And we get to see Captain Carter, who was so awesome to see in live action. And of course American Rambeau, we get to see as Captain Marvel, and the best cameo, John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. I was just like, yo, can you believe this? Like, this is fan service done to perfection. Like, I really hope that we will get something like that. Just like, please give us something. Like, I was hoping for Hugh Jackman to show up in this movie, but like, I was like really, or Tobey Maguire, which I was just like, I'm still mad we didn't see Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. I was like, come on, give us the reunion with Sam Raimi. But to see John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, it was such a great prize. And just for me, when Patrick Stewart shows up in his yellow authentic X-Men 90s series chair, riding up with the theme song playing, my heart just went, oh. It's like, y'all don't understand, y'all can't do this to me. Having the theme song play while he shows up to the scene with the actual authentic X-Men chair, the yellow one from the 90s series, from the comics. I was just like, this is the best movie of all time. I'm such a huge fan of the 90s X-Men series. I was just like, I couldn't stop singing that song afterwards, and it's just like, that was such an amazing way of using the multiverse and to Illuminati. And I do love that when Wanda shows up and you think like, okay, they're about to fight, we're gonna have a cool action, everybody just gets killed. But I must say, I'm so fucking mad, no matter how many times I will watch that movie. They kill Professor X for the third time in the Marvel Universe. It's like, I can't take this. They killed him in X-Men and Last Stand. He died in Logan, and now he gets killed again in Madness Multiverse. I was just like, I can't. Would you stop killing Professor X in this movie? Stop killing Patrick Stewart in those movies. Seriously, I can't take this anymore. It's too much. I was just like, oh, I can't take this anymore. But like, an awesome, not a great cameo was Bruce Campbell as the hot dog stand guy, and then him beating himself up all the time. And that was just, I was like, yes, we got Bruce Campbell. I was just like, I was so happy to see him. It was such a funny cameo. And also he is one of my favorite end credit scenes where he just like punches himself and then it's over, and then the movie just ends. Like, this movie has so many great surprises. Like, some of the moments in this movies are really like some of the best MCU moments we have seen since, I would say, Endgame. But I would say this movie really is on par. It really is a different direction. It's scary. It's scary. It's new. It's adventurous. It plays with the multiverse. To see Wanda, Scarlet Witch, go after she wants and being ruthless and unhinged and let nothing stop her. Same with Doctor Strange, trying to stop it at the same time while also balancing out the universe. It's like, this movie was really done in such a great way. The directing is really great, the performances are great, the story is interesting. Also like that the movie takes time for characters and moments to breathe and not just have quick action. I really like that. We get a cool action sequences, but then when a moment is set, it lets the moment breathe. It doesn't interrupt for some joke, what we usually get in Marvel movies, like when there's a really emotional scene, somebody would crack a joke, and I really like we don't get that here. Like, this is more a darker Marvel movie, which I really love. Like, you let the moments and the scenes sit in and let the the moment hold and not have some type of joke basically roll in. But I must say, I don't really have any complaints about this movie. The only complaints I would have is like, I really thought they would go bigger with the multiverse. I really thought that we would show up in the X-Men 2000s universe, but we do get Patrick Stewart. But like, I kind of thought like we would get more of like John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic and Captain Carter and everything around it. I really hope we would have gotten a little bit, like 1 or 2 more cameos in a different world would have been very cool actually. But this movie was so enamored. I also love the end where we also get Zombie Strange fighting Wanda, which is like epicness, and also kind of find it funny that Sam Raimi, is doing a Marvel movie, and yet is Bruce Campbell in the movie, and of course a zombie version of Doctor Strange. It's like just like Evil Dead. Also, I must say, this is just so great to see to see zombie Doctor Strange fighting with Wanda. It was just done awesome in this section. It was just so great. Like I said, the only down point I would say is with American Savage, her character is interesting, her character is cool, but like I feel like they only kind of use her because she's the one that can open the portals. Like, I feel like they kind of didn't really give her like a other purpose than she's the one that can get people into other multiverses. Like, we never really get to find out more. We do get to find out about, her and, basically open a portal and her family being lost. But we kind of jump in the stories right from the start, which is cool. But we never really actually find out, is she really going to those multiverses to find her family? Which I think would have been added more weight to her character, because her character is, is the one who's always running and being protected. But, she kind of has no purpose of her own other than, trying to get away the stuff that's chasing her. Like, it would have been cool if they kind of, put it intervene, like, her family, she was looking for a family, and then Wanda find out about her, and that's the reason why, she's chasing her. Like, I really thought they would give her, like, a little bit more, like, reason, like, I don't know, something a little bit more, because I kind of feel like her character is like, hey, I'm here, I can open portals, and Wanda's chasing me. That's like basically it, which I kind of felt like, I wish they would have done a little bit more with her character. That's, I feel like, my only gripe with the movie. Other than that, this movie is perfectly fine to me. Danny Elfman gives us a really cool score. Sam Raimi gives us a cool, creepy horror version, and I really think this is something the MCU needs, because this movie was so refreshing to see. Everything, the style direction, the horror elements. I really think Marvel need to step in more about different elements. I mean, this is the reason why Winter Soldier is so popular, because it was like a spy thriller. It was something new and different with the characters that we love. If Marvel would continue doing that, it would really give us new, refreshing things every time. But like, this movie is so great. This movie is really great, and I cannot be happy more. Also, I love the way it ended. Just kind of like Evil Dead, with him walking that third eye popping and boom, and it's kind of like the camera running towards Bruce Campbell and just boom, and I love I love the Evil Dead vibe. And the post-credit scenes, the one with Charlize Theron, I don't know her character, I don't really know what they will do with it, but it sounds exciting. And now Doctor Strange having the third eye, also when he encounters the other Doctor Strange, who was also very cool where they use music to battle. The fights are so great in this movie and so imaginative. This movie was just like surprising, really emotional, really great, and just a really great Marvel movie. And it was something different, you know. This movie, there weren't also a lot of jokes, but really fit to this horror, more serious, darker movie vibe. And the cameos are just amazing. Like seriously, I'm gonna give this movie a 9 out of 10. Doctor Strange, Madness in the Multiverse. Let me know what you think about this movie. I love this movie. This is seriously, I haven't had such a fun watching a movie in a long time, and it's just like, this movie is just so great. Go watch this movie and let me know what you think about this movie. Did you like it? Did you didn't like it? I found this movie really great, refreshing, inventive, creative, with also emotional aspects. The same with, you know, Elizabeth Olsen. I love the aspect at the end, you know, that she always says she wants to protect her kids, but then when she's in other multiverse, she actually sees that she's actually the threat that she's trying to hide from her kids. And actually and I love that Wanda sees herself, oh, I've become the very thing I swear I wanted to protect my kids from, and her realizing that, you know, what she's doing is wrong, and, you know, seeing like the fear of her kids of her eyes, that was so awesomely done. I love that aspect of the movie where, you know, she sees the kind of monster that she has become, and that was just a great, I love that eye opener for her. I love that crew, and now she's crashing down, and, you know, but they gave a spell before, so I know Wanda's not dead, so probably they're going to do something interesting. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. As always, have a great day, and see you next time.